Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the September 22nd, 2025 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Planning and Zoning Commission Chair James Kirkpatrick. At this time, I'd like to ask that all cell phones and electronic devices be turned off or put on silent. Done. Please note this meeting is being recorded. For those of you that have not been with us before, the Planning and Zoning Commission is comprised of 7 members. 5 members are residents of the City of Burlington and are appointed by the City Council. 2 members are residents of the city's extraterritorial jurisdiction and are appointed by the Alamance County Commissioners. For tonight's public comments to address the Commission in this meeting, please wait until called upon by the Chair and address the Commission from the podium. Comments are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes, and anyone who speaks must give their name and address for the record. Press and media can ask questions to the Commission during the public comment period. As a reminder, the Planning and Zoning Commission is an advisory body that makes recommendations to the City Council. No decisions are made here. No decisions are final at the Planning and Zoning Commission meetings. Additionally, in the event of a tie vote 3-3, the motion fails. I'd like to confirm that all the Commission members and staff members are on the agenda are present. Staff, will you please conduct a roll call?
Chair Kirkpatrick.
Present.
Vice Chair Beasley.
Present.
Member Brown.
Present.
Member Mills.
Present.
Member Spataccini.
Present.
Member Rayner.
Present.
And absent are alternate members Hill, Britton, and Sanders. You have a form.
Thanks. Can you pull up the agenda on the screen?
Yes.
I think I can. I meant to do that here before I,
Are you able to see that now?
yeah,
Okay.
perfect. Minutes from the August meeting. Motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Item number 4, rezoning 25-011. Ryan Moffett, applicant, to present a request to assign, stop moving it. To present a request to assign the medium density residential MDR zoning district and suburban residential land use designation to a 0.75 acre portion of a larger 28.34 acre tract. The subject area is located in the southwestern tip of PID 131297, adjacent to the terminus of Shamrock Drive, 1401 Shamrock Drive, in Alamance County tax identification number PID 131020. The entire tract is addressed as 0 Shamrock Drive and consists of Alamance County PID 131297. This portion of the property is currently located within Graham's extraterritorial jurisdiction. Mr. Moffett, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Chair Kirkpatrick. Good evening, members of the Commission. My name is Ryan Moffett. I'm a lawyer at the Vernon Law Firm. It's my pleasure to be here this evening representing Henson Realty, LLC. Mr. and Ms. Milam, Paul and Virginia Milam, are the principals of the applicant entity. They do, Henson Realty does own the subject parcels 131297. This is attendant to a petition for annexation of this 0.75 acre portion of the parcel in question, which is total of 28 acres. This 0.75 acres was added to the larger parcel in 2023. The balance of the larger parcel, along with about another 12 acres, was annexed into the corporate limits of the city back in September of 2020. This area, as part of the annexation request for this partial area, will require an original zoning assignment, and so therefore we've submitted a zoning request to assign MDR zoning to this .75 acres to be consistent with the balance of the 28-acre balance of the parcel, which is zoned MDR. The request is as simple as that. It will need a zoning, assuming it is annexed. It is eligible for annexation as it is contiguous to the existing corporate limits, and if that is City Council's pleasure, we would request that this portion of the parcel be zoned consistently with the remainder of the parcel. Surrounding this parcel is obviously the 28 acres adjacent to it, but also the former Shamrock Golf Course property, which is conditionally zoned for single-family residential use, so of course consistent with MDR zoning. To the north, foreseeable north, is all MDR zoning. To the south and to the east is City of Graham extraterritorial jurisdiction. This request is consistent with future land use plan for the existing City of Burlington area for suburban residential use, so the MDR zoning request would be consistent with that. And again, before you this evening, as part of that annexation process, to make sure that an appropriate zoning designation is assigned to this portion in the event that the annexation is approved. Mr. and Ms. Milam, as I noted, are present. We're all happy to answer any questions you might have, but would appreciate your consideration of the request. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Moffitt before he sits down?
No, sir.
Because I do.
I'm happy to answer.
It appeared that this whole, I mean, Jamie, better yet, would you give us the lay of the land?
Sure. So the subject area is just this portion of the larger tract, which was referred to as 28 acres and change. So as Mr. Moffitt stated, this larger tract was annexed into the city limits and assigned a zoning designation, previously was in the Graham extraterritorial jurisdiction, ETJ. And when it was annexed, it was assigned the medium density residential zoning district, which is this yellow shade that exists all around the properties, as well as portions of Shamrock as well. And so this 3/4 of an acre parcel area was created by a final plat. It still is within the Graham's extraterritorial jurisdiction. However, as stated, the applicant is seeking to annex that portion, which was not part of the larger tract. And because if City Council decides to annex the property, there needs to be a zoning designation, a city zoning designation assigned to the tract. Currently, it is not within the city limits. And you recall there's been other applications that are similar to this that you have heard, I think off of 61 and other areas where the properties are currently not within your jurisdiction, but they are anticipated to apply for annexation, and as a result, Planning and Zoning Commission has to hear the item and then make a recommendation. But the actual zoning designation isn't put into place until or unless the property would be annexed, and then the designation is assigned. Any questions on that part? I know it's...
I got one, Jamie. What's the area that surrounds it that's in white? What is that zone right now?
That is also a residential zone in Graham.
So,
to hear this item and city council is able to consider the annexation is city corporate limits are adjacent to the property, at least on one side, but in this case, it's actually on two sides. So normally in this type of a situation, well, the request by the applicant is for medium density residential. Staff has recommended this proposed zoning as well because we feel that applying the zoning district consistent to what is around the property and immediately attached to the larger parcel provides the opportunity for a consistent, cohesive development should something occur on the property. It would not make sense to apply any other type of commercial district or something else because the property is so small and is probably, I would say, 99.9% necessary for that connection to occur in order for that other remaining tract to be developed. There's significant constraints that run along this northern property boundary, and so access off of Hanford, this is Hanford Road here, and the single family attached that has been developed under construction. There's no means to be able to provide access to that larger area from the north.
I think you just answered what I was concerned about. So this is primarily to give connection to the.
This is access.
That's it. That's all.
Yes, yes, it is.
Jamie, would
I
you
mean,
pull
it's
this
but without the additional 3/4 of an acre, it's a landlocked.
Sure.
It's 40 landlocked
Sure.
acres, and
I get it.
We've got a dedicated right of way, and an opportunity to render access.
Understood.
To the acreage.
You would like to see the aerial?
Let me see the aerial because you can see the trailer park off to the side of the 28-acre tract a lot easier in this. Then you can't really tell what's going on beside it in the yellow and white.
Is that helpful, Lee?
Yeah, because that shows us all the construction that's going on up at the top.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
It
sir.
shows us, and you want to annex the 28 acres, well, it will be 28 acres total, but the little jog down there is 0.75, so we've got 27.25 in the
That's
top part of it that's already been annexed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
And that property, that boundary line to the northeast is a branch of, I think, Little Alamance. What, Little Alamance Creek.
And then feed the Jordan Lake.
A challenge to traverse, notwithstanding the development.
Is there an outfall along Little Alamance Creek, sewer outfall?
I couldn't say for certain.
Bob Patterson. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Well, just one more,
Okay.
just to make sure, the access coming onto Shamrock Drive from this, your request, I guess that's a platted right-of-way? And it's-
Yes.
There's public right-of-way and
Yes.
all that, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This 27 acre tract that's above this 0.75 acres, how many homes are plotted for that tract?
None right now.
None? Surely there's an idea.
There are various, well, under the MDR.
Under MDR, you can go single family, you can go,
So-
there's a number of different
so
options.
Townhomes have been reviewed, single family's been reviewed, attached, duplex, triplex, quad, that sort of product has been reviewed, but it has purposely not been placed in the in the TRC pipeline yet, or developed to that point until we get
Till you get
past
access.
this threshold.
Okay.
That's right. But we've looked at all of those.
All right. Fair enough. Any other questions? All right, thanks, Ryan.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
I didn't ask this to begin with. Does anybody have any conflict with anything that's on the agenda tonight?
No.
Okay. Is there anyone on this side of the room that would like to speak to this rezoning matter? Anyone on this side of the room that would like to speak to this rezoning matter? No one here wants to speak on this rezoning matter? Okay. Gentlemen,
Chairman? I make a motion.
have at it.
I move to recommend approval of the assignment of the .75 acre area located at the southwestern tip of Alamance County Tax ID 131297 and addressed as 0 Shamrock Drive as medium-density residential MDR zoning designation and the suburban residential land use designation. The motion is based upon the consistency of proposed rezoning with the comprehensive plan in that the future land use map in Section 4 land use of the comprehensive plan calls for this area to be suburban residential. The request makes this .75 acre portion compatible with the zoning and land use designations for the 28 acre tract. This action is reasonable and in the public interest in that the comprehensive plan calls for residential uses in the area, designating it under the medium density residential MDR zoning district and the suburban residential land use category, ensures cohesive development standards and regulations for the entire area. Any future development will be required to comply with the city's Unified Development Ordinance, and that's option 1.
There's a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Staff, would you roll call the vote, please?
Yes. Chair Kirkpatrick,
Approve?
Vice Chair Beasley,
Approve.
Member Roan,
Approve.
Member Mills,
Approve.
Member Spataccini,
Approve.
Member Rayner.
Approve.
Okay, you know the drill. This item will move forward to City Council. It will be at a future work session, which then they will set a public hearing date. Once that occurs, property owners within 300 feet, as well as applicants, will be notified. We will let you know when it's scheduled for that.
Thanks, Jamie. Thank you all.
Very welcome. Item 5, is item 5 still on the agenda?
Item 5 is still on the agenda.
Okay, I'll read it. Rezoning 25-012, Ryan Moffitt, applicant to present a request to rezone two parcels of land totaling 13.78 acres from the Highway Business HB zoning district to the General Business GB zoning district. The properties are located on the eastern side of NC Highway 61 South across from Conica Drive and south of Interstate NC Highway 85-40. They are addressed as 1201 and 1211 NC Highway 61 South and consist of Guilford County tax identification numbers 103470 and 106250. Mr. Moffitt.
Thank you, Chair Kirkpatrick. On this item, due to a scheduling conflict, would respectfully request that we hold this over until the October Planning and Zoning Commission meeting and hear it at that time.
Well, you could have said that before I started reading.
I'll note that for next time. Thank you all.
Item number 6, you can just keep standing right there. Conditional zoning 25-005.
Just for the record.
Do we have to vote on that?
No.
Okay.
Just for the record, that is the October 22nd Planning and Zoning Commission item, and there will be no further notice.
Okay. Can I read again? Thank you. Item number 6, conditional rezoning 25-005, Ryan Moffitt, applicant to present a request to amend the existing conditional business CB 902 zoning district to include Alamance County tax identification numbers 112514 and 112515, along with conditions associated with those tracts as illustrated on the applicant's conceptual site plan. These properties addressed as 3330 Garden Road and 815 Boone Station Drive total 3.231 acres in size. They are located on the south side of Garden Road, west of the intersection with Boone Station Drive, and are currently within the conditional business CB 831 and office and institution OI zoning districts. Mr. Moffitt.
Thank you, Chair Kirkpatrick. Once again, Ryan Moffitt, with the Vernon Law Firm, 522 South Lexington Avenue.
Thank you.
Here in Burlington. With the pleasure to be before you this evening representing Parks Hospitality Group, who is the applicant behind this request. I'm joined this evening by Seth Mason, Connor Dusterberg, Chad Huffine is our engineer on this project. This has been an exciting one to work on for me and Mr. Huffine, and appreciate Parks for their anticipated investment here in the city with this project. As noted, the parcels at issue are 112515 and 112514. This is a request to amend existing conditional business zoning. That is the Alamance Crossing zoning that was originally adopted in 2004 to begin with, and has been amended numerous times since. That is CB 902. This request, there are two amendments that we're asking for to this. The first being to add parcel 112514 in the conditional business district. 112515 was always a part of the original Alamance Crossing conditional business zoning and development plan. We are requesting that 112514 be added to that, and we are also requesting an amendment to the existing conditions to allow for a hotel use on the subject parcels. The conditions of that use on these parcels are established by the site plan, the conditional site plan that has been submitted attendant to this request. Just a little bit of background on this request. We started working with the Parks Group probably February of this year, and have had a lot of conversation about it early on, developing the concept. Ultimately decided to move forward with this application over the summertime, and one of the first things we did as part of the process, or that the Parks Group did as part of the process, was engage Kimley Horn to conduct a traffic study specific to this use. So that's been done on a preliminary basis. We do have a report. At that stage, no material traffic improvements were recommended. Some striping along the traffic circle, and then the ingress-egress points that you see on the site plan as well. The next thing we did shortly after consultation with staff and submission of the application was to reach out to area property owners. We sent a community meeting invitation to all the property owners within 300 feet of both parcels. The Parks Group was nice enough to make available one of the conference rooms at their Hampton Inn property here on Long Pine Road. About 19 invitations went out. We had one community member join us, Mr. C.G. Bird. It was a wonderful conversation. Frankly, I don't see him here this evening. I don't know that he loved the idea, but the engagement was substantive. And I will tell you that during our conversation, the site plan that we presented showed the property flipped. So our primary point of access was to be on Garden Road, and the secondary point of access was off of the traffic circle at Boone Station Drive. And at his suggestion, he wondered, why not make the traffic circle your primary point of access, given that Garden Road is only going to experience more and more traffic as things build out. And Seth gave that some serious consideration immediately after that meeting, and the next day with their design team and Chad's help, we had flipped the plan entirely at his very astute suggestion, and we believe that what we have before you this evening with a primary access off of the traffic circle is an optimal plan. So that's just a little bit about the history and the background of this request and what we have as a plan and a set of conditions before you today. But I do want to take a minute to invite Seth up to tell you all a little bit about Parks Hospitality and its experience here in the city, and about the product that they're proposing for this site.
But to be clear, there's still access off of Garden Road.
Yes, yes, but it will be facing Boone Station.
I get that.
Yeah, that's right.
Does anybody have a question for Ryan before he sits?
Yeah, I'll be back to get.
Okay, well, if you think of one, he'll be back up.
Didn't realize you were so busy, Ryan. All right, hello, everybody. Thank you for having me here, members of the commission, members of the public.
Name and address, please, don't
Oh,
forget.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, just, it's easy to forget that, so.
Yeah, Seth Mason. And then address, full address?
Just someplace, yeah.
Just for Parks. Yeah.
Yeah.
With Parks Hospitality Group, and we're at Raleigh. Great. Yeah, so my name is Seth Mason. I'm the development manager at Parks Hospitality Group. So I wanted to first share a few notes about Parks, who we are, and the project that we are proposing. So I've been with Parks going on 12 years now. I actually started working at the front desk. I worked in maintenance at a property in Cary, Hilton Garden Inn. And I'm still honored to be a part of Parks today. We were started as a family hotel business in the late 90s. To this day, we are owned and operated by that same family. We are not some large REIT. We don't have huge outside investors. We keep all ownership within that family and also the employees of the company. We currently own and manage 12 hotels with over 550 associates. All of those hotels are affiliated with Hilton and Marriott. We have a team of 18 in Raleigh that in our Raleigh office. They handle all management and development of the hotels. And so we build and manage properties in-house, which is a little bit unique in hospitality. So you do have a lot of hospitality builders, and they run the property for maybe a year, they flip it. You have a lot of third-party hospitality management groups, and they'll come in, they'll purchase these hotels, or for owners, they'll manage their hotels for a fee. But we actually do everything in-house, which is fairly unique. So I will build the property alongside Connor here, and then I'll oversee maintenance. So I'll visit all the properties twice a year myself. And then in the office, just adjacent to me, is the team that's going to run that hotel. So yeah, we're all in-house, small team. It's still very much kind of a family culture there in the corporate office. So one of our goals, our entire goal, is to build and hold long-term. So we built the Hampton Inn over off of Huffman Mill in 2006, which was a huge success for us. At that time, that was a huge project for Parks. That is still a proud part of our portfolio. And again, I oversee all maintenance of that hotel. We later opened the True by Hilton next to the Hampton in 2019, which we also still operate. So again, building and holding long-term. So similar to how we treat those properties, we see Burlington as a market with a lot of future potential growth. And the goal here is to build, hold long-term, and be part of the community. We enjoy working here in Burlington. I oversaw the construction of the True in 2018, 2019. And Burlington was nothing but a joy to work in. And I honestly say that having worked all over North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee. So I'll tell you a little bit about the project. The project we're proposing would also sit under the Hilton family of hotels. So the Hampton under Hilton, the True by Hilton. This would be a Home2, which is a relatively new brand, is considered an extended stay property. Our target audience is those staying for roughly 3 or more nights. They're looking for more spacious rooms, something with a little bit more of a home, hence the Home2 name, type amenities. And some, the amenities that are important when you're staying in a hotel for more than a few nights. So Home2 is also one of my favorite brands. Again, speaking just very honestly here, if I'm traveling with my family, with a dog, Home2 is like my go-to. I'm always going to seek out a Home2, and I'll tell you a little bit why. Many of the rooms are very spacious. They're a lot bigger than your average hotel room. We're talking 400, 500 square feet plus. A lot of them have separate living rooms and separate sleeping areas, which offer a much more reasonable stay for a long-term stay. They all have fully equipped kitchens, so each suite has a kitchen with a refrigerator, stove, microwave, dishwasher. It's got a really nice complimentary breakfast. It's all pet friendly and a lot of hard surfaces that make it great for pets. Very large fitness center, upscale pool, outdoor area, and its fire pits, grills. This one would also include a reasonably sized meeting room with space for meetings up to around 100 people. The goal here would be 120 guest rooms, which Ryan here has submitted, 4 stories, likely to be constructed of steel and concrete. And then just to give you an idea of who we're targeting here, the rate for the Home2 would be a little bit higher than the Hampton, much higher than the True. We'd be targeting a rate of around 140 to 180 a night. So very much this would be the upper mid-scale tier for hotels. We're catering a lot to college parents, visiting students, a huge market for healthcare workers. Anytime there's healthcare workers working in local facilities, Home2, a residence in, something like that is going to be perfect for what they're looking for. And then another big portion of our clientele would be long-term contractors and employees of nearby companies. So say you're working under contract, or you're visiting headquarters nearby, and you're going to be staying there a week. This is like perfect for what you're looking for. It just gives you a little bit more space than the Hampton, a lot more than the True. It's a space to just relax and kind of make it your home, hence the name Home2. So yeah, thank you for your time, and here to answer any questions you might have.
Does anyone have any questions?
I guess, Scott, and this may be a question for later on, but I think Ryan said that it has been reviewed by Kimley Horn. Has it reviewed by the city engineering? This?
It has been reviewed by the TRC as part of a conceptual plan
Okay.
that is associated with the rezoning request. The process would be, should the rezoning be amended, the conceptual plan runs with that amendment, but the applicant would need to come back through the technical review committee with a full-blown site plan, traffic impact, and that includes NCDOT and city.
Okay, so the site plan we have here has not been reviewed by TRC or has been reviewed?
It has been reviewed,
Okay,
but
and
it is a conceptual.
Conceptual, and it has been reviewed by Kimley Horn. I know you said they reviewed the traffic analysis. They did the traffic study, but I wasn't sure if they had seen this particular site layout.
They did the traffic report based on the site plan. Now,
Based on the site plan, this site
it
plan?
was based on the one
The flipped.
with Garden Road as the primary entrance.
So Kimley Horn, the consultant, has not reviewed the flip version.
I can actually comment on that. Yeah. So that's a great question. So when we did flip after we spoke with Kimley Horn, after they did the TIA. However, with Kimley Horn looking at the site, the interior of the site only the building itself has actually flipped from our original. And so what we're talking about is that main entrance, what we would call porte cochere, that main entry to the hotel, has changed, but where you're coming in on Garden Road, how you're entering from the roundabout has not changed. So for Kimley Horn's purposes, I don't think that would really change how people are getting to the site, how they're getting off the highway and navigating to the site, or how they're leaving the site. The change was simply altering mostly the aesthetics.
So the front of the hotel being facing Garden Road,
Exactly.
it's now facing the roundabout.
That's right. Yep, we flipped and faced the roundabout. But yeah, from Kimley Horn's perspective, the entrances and the exits are in the exact same place. We've only flipped
It's
it
just, I would think, and I'm just throwing it out, I would assume Kimley Horn, if when they saw the plan or the proposed site plan and the building was facing Garden Road, I think they would assume the main entrance is going to be Garden Road. And now well, we can call it main entrance.
Right.
If the people see it off Garden Road, they're going in the first driveway. They're not coming in
Exactly.
off a roundabout.
We've got a few hotels here where the main entrance, we've got multiple entrances to the hotel. And in the end, the client is going to get to the hotel in the most efficient manner, regardless of the orientation of the hotel on the site. And we'll confirm with Kimley Horn, but I'm pretty sure that's what they would say as well.
Well, I think with Jamie, and so it's still under review, so to speak. TRC or the city has not signed off on,
TRC has signed off on
Conceptual.
on the conceptual
yes,
plan.
but not the, okay.
Let me be clear on that too, Mr. Mills. This is far from reviewed and stamped, and the traffic flow will be looked at and scrutinized.
Well, that's kind of what I was concerned about, and I know, and Kimley Horn's an excellent firm, and it's just, I got some concern, but, so you've asked that, Ryan, that's fine, that's good.
They're valid, and I want to be upfront that what they looked at was before the front was flipped, and I see your point, but please be assured that we're not done looking at the traffic flow. And I think the hope with the flip and the idea behind the flip was that, and you're the traffic engineer, so this may not pan out, but you can take advantage of some control at the signalized intersection to access through Boone Station for a primary entrance, as opposed to relying on a primary entrance that close to a signalized intersection, trying to make rights and lefts and all kinds of stuff that close. So our thinking, when we had the meeting that spurred the reevaluation of the orientation, was maybe this takes advantage of the signal and directs most of the traffic into the traffic circle and not in and out of. So we are very cognizant of the sensitive traffic situation on Garden Road. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Does anyone else have a question for?
Total room number target, 120, 130, something like that.
Yeah, it's 120 rooms. Exactly.
Anyone else?
Was it 340s or
4 stories.
4 stories?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Anyone else? I just want to say thank you for investing in our community.
Yep.
No,
Thank you.
Very sincerely.
For what you've already done.
We love building.
So,
At one point in my life, I had about a 50 to 60% travel schedule, and Homewood Suites and Home 2 are the ones that I chose when I traveled, so.
Right.
Jamie, would you like to take this opportunity to give us the city's lay of the land?
Sure. Not much to add after the pretty lengthy discussion about the site plan. But what I would say is the amendment, well, what I would say is the existing GB zoning district, which a portion of the property was previously and now part of the conditional zoning, allows for hotel use. The amended, the existing conditional business allows for hotel use. I believe consolidating the zoning to include these properties as well as being consistent with the overall Alamance Crossing development makes sense here. It provides the opportunity for, like I said on the other case, a cohesive development while you're still able to be in character with the other commercial uses within the area. If you look at the zoning map, maybe it's a little bit easier, but the configuration of both of these properties independently are really, not really compatible for some kind of development. And so it would make sense in order to have a development, should that site be developed, combining those lots, making it one larger development, would probably be the most efficient use of those properties, of that space. And I'll just say that, let me just go to the last slide. So this area is in the regional commercial future land use designation, which is shown in red, so the rezoning does provide for that consistency. And the use conditions specific to this application, I just wanted to read into the record. The use conditions, the subject parcel shall be permitted for use as a hotel, subject to the conditions shown on the conceptual plan applicable to the subject parcel and submitted with the applicant's application for the conditional zoning amendment. That the conceptual site plan shall be subject to final review and approval by the technical review committee. And then just two development conditions, and this is specific for these properties. The remaining conditional rezoning and all of the amendments for the rest of the development still would remain in full effect. But the development for this subject property shall be subject to the standards and the requirements under the conditional site plan, which again will also be reviewed by the technical review committee. And essentially, this property, should it be developed and rezoned, it would be under the zoning ordinance and not the unified development ordinance. Just want to make all of that crystal clear. Staff does recommend the approval consistent with option one, compatible with the future land use designation.
Perfect, thank you.
Before we vote, I'm looking at the power line easement through the property. Where is that going to be moved? You have an idea?
That's $1 million question. Yeah, we're working on that with Duke right now. So we're going to be burying those lines on the northwest corner of the property. We're going to work our way around the property. We're going to drop under Boone Station. And at that point, we're working with Duke on some easements down the line to make that happen. But we are in a daily conversation with Duke to get that solidified. We've got quotes from Duke to get that done. And yeah, that has been no easy undertaking. So.
Understood.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you. Ryan, you said you had something else you wanted to say? Or did I just invite you up for no reason? Did I just open up?
Jamie offered what I was going to provide, but that's just that it's consistent with our future planning and our maps, and it has staff's recommendation, and I would leave it at that.
Okay.
I think that stands for itself, and I appreciate you all's consideration.
Thank you. Does anyone on this side of the room wish to speak on this rezoning matter? Anyone on this side of the room wish to speak on this rezoning matter that hasn't already spoken? All right, gentlemen,
I'd like to make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
please have at it.
I make a motion to recommend approval of this request to amend the existing conditional business CB 902 associated with the Alamance Crossing Shopping Center as originally adopted on April 20th, 2004, and thereafter amended on June 7th, 2005, July 19, 2005, April 18, 2006, June 20th, 2006, and September 5th, 2006, to include Alamance County Tax Identification Numbers 112514 and 112515. These properties are addressed as 3330 Garden Road and 815 Boone Station Road. The motion is based upon the consistency of the proposed rezoning with the comprehensive plan in that the future land use map in Section 4 land use of the comprehensive plan calls for this area to have a regional commercial. Hotel uses are currently permitted within the existing conditional business, CB 902, and general business, GB, zoning districts. This action is reasonable and in the public interest in that consolidating PIDs 112514 and 112515 into one zoning district provides an opportunity for a more efficient site layout and better site access. It also ensures at least 100 feet between the adjoining residentially zoned lot PID 11215 to the proposed hotel building. Future development of the property must comply with the general business GB zoning standards as set forth in the city's Unified Development Ordinance.
And I'll just correct that it will be the zoning ordinance, not the Unified Development Ordinance.
Okay.
Amend the motion. Is that PID 112515 under the second bullet? Is that a typo?
Yes,
So it should be 112515.
hold on, 12515 and 514, yes, that is a typo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good catch.
There's a motion that's been amended on the table, correct? Yes. And is there a second?
Second.
And there's a second to the amended motion. Staff, would you roll call that?
Sure. Chair Kirkpatrick?
Approve.
Vice Chair Beasley?
Approve.
Member Rome?
Approve.
Member Mills?
Approve.
Member Scott-Cheney?
Approve.
And Member Rayner?
Approve.
Again, this item will move forward to City Council during work session, and we will let you know when the public hearing date is scheduled.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you all.
Thank you. Item number 7, conditional rezoning 25-007. Aiden Stoltzfus, applicant, to present a request to amend the existing conditional residential CR 747-747A zoning district related to Guilford County tax identification numbers 103312 and 103313. These parcels are addressed as 1685 Springwood Village Drive, and total 4.829 acres in size. They are located north and west of the intersection of Springwood Village Drive and Springwood Church Road. There are no changes proposed to the Park Place development located north of these properties. Kevin, how are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good evening, my name is Kevin Sasser, 4425 Sasser Farm Drive, Gibsonville. And I'd like to thank the planning board for hearing us tonight. And I'm going to ask Jamie a question real quick. Jamie, I'm happy to give the lay of land. You probably have the dates better than I do, but I'm happy to give it. if you want me to.
I can introduce the item, and
Okay.
then the applicant can help to supplement if there's anything that needs to be added. So, looking at the map shown on the screen, the area in question that's subject to the rezoning amendment is the triangular piece that is highlighted in teal. The entire development, which was Springwood Village, was previously approved under a conditional residential rezoning, and the date for that was
A while back.
June 19th, 2018. So that's when the entire area was developed. This subject area was also identified for multifamily. However, the number of units as part of this request has been increased from 48 units to 52. And there was also a specific reference to the height as part of the previously approved rezoning, and the applicant has now amended the request to, instead of propose 2 buildings at 3 stories, the proposal is to build 1 building at 4 stories and 50 feet. So those are essentially the 2 changes that have occurred, and that's part of the request. As stated, there's no changes to the rest of the development. Included in the packet, and look, there's a larger version of this in your packet that was sent to you, but this is just a clip of the triangular area, so you can see this is again a conceptual site plan, so this has not gone through a formal technical review committee review process, but there is the power line easement that runs along the northwest portion of the property, and then you've got 2 access points. I believe those are pretty much consistent with the previously approved plan. You've got different amenities that are proposed on the site, a stormwater control device located at the close to the intersection, and then the area that I'm circling is where the proposed footprint of the building would be. However, nothing is set in stone pertaining to this conceptual plan. The applicant would be back in front of the technical review committee and all of the other necessary requirements that would be needed as part of their application. Some of the other conditions that remain on the property are the perimeter building setbacks of 30 feet, landscape buffers as shown on the plan. These are conditions that carry forward from the previously approved plan. The monument sign to be used for development signage, and there was a previous connection for trails, I believe, between track 2 and or the other portion of the development. That had been removed, but there is no development within the overhead utility line area. I think now I'm getting to the point where I'm going to ask you, did I miss anything?
I don't think so. I think you covered everything.
Doesn't sound like it. You did it a lot better than he could.
So essentially, there's no change to the overall use of the property. There is a change, and maybe the applicant can address the need for that change, which he can probably do better than I.
Sure, I'll be glad to do that. So the initial plan was a 3-story building. We decided to go 3-story building, 2 3-story buildings with 48 units total, 24 in each building. After looking at the site, we decided to propose a 4-story building, which I know we can't put right now, but I'm going ahead and just tell you what the whole plan was. Our plan is to put a flat roof on that building with parapet walls, which would essentially be about the same height of a 3-story building with a gable roof on it. So the look that we're going after is more toward that direction. So that's the reason our decision for that. And then the 4-story is going to allow us the type of building, the type of tenant that we're going to try to attract. It's going to work better for that because of the amenities in the building.
Just out of curiosity, what would be the problem with, do we have a height restriction on him putting a gable roof on top of his building if it were 4-story?
No, there's no issue in terms of a gable roof. the issue that, one of the reasons why they are seeking an amendment is the previously approved conditional rezoning was so specific regarding the number of stories and that building height. So under the,
It was noted on the drawing for 3 stories.
so they would not be able to build a 4-story product under the existing zoning.
So to follow up to that, if you did a 4-story, could you then still do a gable roof?
So our plan, Jamie, I don't know, I'm assuming if we pass this, noted as it is, that we'd be back we'd be with a 4-story building with a flat roof and parapet wall, is that correct?
It depends on it depends on how you calculate the building height. So parapet would be taken, or the building height would be taken at the mean point. Just depends on what that calculation is.
The aesthetics of that in that area, that works?
We
For,
really.
like in my mind, just me speaking for me,
Yeah.
because of all of the apartments that are out there, aesthetically, that works. 4-story with a gable roof is just kind of,
It jumps out. So
Yeah.
what a parapet wall would do, it would move with the building. So you've seen the parapet walls, they'll be at different heights, but basically the objective is to block the roof where you're not seeing a
Right.
flat roof. But it does, the design itself, they move with the building height. You know, whether it be a projection on the building, they would change with the projections on the building.
A lot of times the parapets are used to screen, I'm not sure
Equipment.
in this
Yeah,
case if they're
a lot
gonna
of
have
it's
equipment on the roof.
They are, they're keep you from seeing the roof and or the equipment.
Could you not do a low gabled roof behind the parapets?
It'll be a low slope roof, but
I'm thinking
you know,
in
I
terms of
understand your
leaks.
point. Yeah, no, I understand your point. It'll be a slope roof, single slope roof, but it'll be a very low
Yeah, I'd
slope.
hate to see you invest all this money and then end up having
Yeah,
leaks.
no, we won't do that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if we go with flat, we'd end up with, you know, with center drains and stuff. It'll be a single slope roof.
I'll shut up now.
No, that's fine.
that's why we're here. Anybody have any questions for
Well,
Mr.
just
Sanchez?
one for Janie. What was back when it was originally done? You said it was the requirement for a 3-story roof part of the
Yes.
approval process?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but this was the previously approved plan, and it's included in your packet as well.
Yeah.
But these were and it was, you know, conditional rezonings, you have had amendments in front of you before. Back when this was approved, I guess in 2018, those types of conditional rezonings were oftentimes very, very specific. And so this plan actually refers to 3 stories. It's written, I don't know if you can see it here, but it's written on the actual site plan.
Well, I'm sure they had there was a public hearing involved back then. At the public hearing, did people walk away thinking it's going to be a 3-story building? And now we can change it to 4?
That is why they're seeking an amendment to the zoning, and that is why properties throughout the entire development were notified. We do only have the requirement for notifying within 300 feet of the area that is seeking an amendment, but in this case, we took the 300-foot boundary all around the property and measured 300 feet in addition to this, too.
Okay.
And then there were signs posted.
Okay.
All around, because for that reason, Mike,
Okay.
we did want to make people aware that this is a change.
Right, well, that's what I was kind of,
But if my memory serves me correct,
well, you was here then.
I was
wasn't
here
you?
then. I think it was more of a density issue. There's something that's triggering, and I can't recall.
I can probably help you, but, so.
Yeah, go.
We roll all the way back, and I don't know that that's necessary, but I'll roll all the way back. I was the original developer, okay? I was the original purchaser of the land, and then I had another partner with me who actually was one of the builders that was in there, okay? the original site plan, if you go back to the original site plan, it was for a daycare and a convenience store on that site, on those two parcels, okay? Then, the townhouse portion was developed, that triangle was always there. One lot was a daycare, one lot was a convenience store. Then Windsor Homes had started developing the townhomes. The market went away, and we came in, and there was a plan presented to take the unfinished portion of the townhomes along with the two lots that we're discussing now, turn that into multifamily. That was approved, and when that was approved, then at that time, again, our site was approved. Then we came back again. Windsor came back, Market come back on the townhomes, and Windsor came back and represented to take theirs back to the townhomes again, okay? At that time, the two lots here were left multifamily, and it was showing 3 stories on the building plan, on the site plan. So, we seen that as it wasn't a listed condition, but it was, like Jamie said, it was on the plan, so that's what I got dealt with.
And also the density as well.
Yes, ma'am, that's true. Yes, ma'am.
And having 4 stories requires you to put an elevator in.
We will have 2 elevators, yes, sir.
And to me, with brand new knees, that's a plus.
And I know I can't tell you what, I mean, I'll be glad to tell you, but I know it's not a condition of what we're doing. You know, I'll be glad to share it with you, because I'm gonna build it and own it. So, but it's an over 55 community.
Yeah.
Is exactly what it is. But again, I know that's
Well,
not,
it becomes very attractive to people like me. I'm 73 years old and have some mobility limitations that I'm overcoming, but
yes, sir.
Lifting heavy stuff up 3 flights of stairs is not something I want to be doing.
Well, and as I said, if we looked at the 2 buildings, and if it's an over 55 community, we can merge all of our amenities together.
Yeah.
So, as in the dining area, the fitness area, all that can be merged together. And in turn, also, as far as the elevators go, then we'll put 2 elevators in one building to service it.
Does anybody have any more questions?
Good.
Everybody down here good?
Yeah, Jamie, this is maybe a little bit ancillary, but so what was said about that current track that's there behind Windsor Homes along Springwood Road that's like 300 feet? Is that not being continued? Is that not a requirement? Do you know if that little paved track that's just in the middle of nowhere that's kind of behind where the Windsor townhomes are along Springwood? It was like a walking track, yeah.
So I think, Jamie, I'll let you speak to that, but I think we have a sidewalk that goes along Springwood Drive there that takes you to the park, that goes throughout the community. It was my understanding that we would not need to continue that paved track along our eastern property line, and I think that's what you're asking.
So it would just end at the power line as it does now?
As it does now, yes, sir.
I don't know that to be any different.
No, yeah.
And so.
Just what was the
that's not-
original intention of that, I guess? Like, it's just a 6-foot wide trail that goes literally nowhere.
Sidewalk nowhere.
Give you a place to turn around and go back?
Yeah,
Walk 300 feet back and forth.
Oftentimes that's how,
They walk around the wall. Yeah, I mean, in our opinion, the walking would take place along the road that leads to the park.
Sure,
The
sure.
connector road
Yeah.
there. That's where we think the walking would take place.
Fair enough.
Okay. Anything else? Here? Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone on this side of the room would like to speak to this? Anyone on this side of the room would like to speak to this?
Yes,
Okay, please.
I'll try anyway. I just really have some questions.
Absolutely.
Okay. Sylvia Winston, and reside at 7684 Oliver Park Drive,
Okay.
which is the townhomes that back up to the power line, where you want to build pickleball courts and dog runs and whatever. Anyway, and those are really our questions. We're concerned about lights in our bedrooms. Those are our bedrooms to the back.
Mm-hmm.
The townhomes don't even show on it, but we're right on the other side of the power line. So,
Okay.
we're concerned about the lights in our townhomes and how much light is going to be in our bedrooms every night. We're concerned about the the time that the amenities will be open, people will be paying, playing pickleball at midnight, but I'm happy to hear it's a 55 or over community. Maybe you'll buy my townhome and I'll move into yours.
Come up here, please. I'm gonna have Kevin come up because he can't hear you.
I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna have him come up here. That way the questions can be, we can go ahead and handle this real quick.
Oh, okay.
I think your questions are great, and I think he can address them probably right now.
Okay, okay. Our concern is the fact that our bedrooms, windows back up to the power line. On the other side, you're gonna have the dog run, the maintenance garage, and a pickleball court, and a barbecue pit.
Like
With
a
a fire pit.
yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. So, first of all, I said I'm happy to hear it's a 55 and over community, and I would, if I had some, I'll move in. Anyway, sorry, I'm freezing to death, guys, it's cold.
Sorry.
Our concerns are the light. Will our bedrooms be flooded with light constantly? We're concerned with the noise behind us, and will the amenities have a closed down time, or pickleball at midnight?
So,
And also, the dumpsters are right behind us.
so the pickleball court will not be, there's no intentions to light it for nighttime. And then again, it's an over 55 community. We think that those people are gonna want the same thing you're looking for, okay?
Yes.
And then lighting, if you see the way the building backs up to you, so any lighting, the lighting will actually, I don't know exactly where you're at, but if you see the building probably takes up about, I don't want to say 50%, but runs down the property line, let's say maybe 35, 40%. So our intention would be everything would be downlighted, not flooded. So, you know, we would work with New Power, LED, and it would be downlighting, not flood. We won't flood the area.
I'm right here. First new building, of the first,
Right
and
here.
she's right here, yes, I'm on that end.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, you are gonna be near the pickleball court and the dog park.
Correct.
So there will be everything would be downlit, okay? No floods. We're not gonna flood it like you would a tennis court or anything like that. We have no intentions of nighttime activities. Absolutely.
That makes a big difference too. Also, will there be any kind of landscaping or anything between
So,
us now? Because there's nothing there now, as you know, it's a field.
I want to make sure that, so we were excused from the landscaping along the power line due to the power line. Okay?
Exactly.
Now, I will tell you that we will landscape, but I don't want to promise you a big border or anything like that because, I mean, we've got to allow, they're going to have power line maintenance. So we'll landscape what we can there, but not a big border or anything, not a fence or anything like that. We don't have
So there won't be any privacy between them.
We don't plan any privacy. I mean, we plan beautification, but not privacy.
Okay.
I just mean, being honest with you.
Okay. Well, you believe, I feel a lot better knowing it's 55 and over because I think it'll be quieter than just having young people coming and going all the time.
There is no reason that you should have any issues with that. I mean, I'm saying that we would present those issues.
Right.
Ma'am,
And everything will be managed.
ma'am, are you satisfied? Because your 3 minutes are up.
I'm sorry, yes, I am.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
no. While you're standing there, Kevin, I want to ask you, will you make that downlighted? Will you make that part of your?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, we have no intention of flooding the parking lot. It's not good for us either.
Okay, good.
Doesn't do you any good.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
All right, perfect. So you're good.
I'm good, I can sit down.
And that's perfect.
We'll just.
Okay.
And ma'am, do you have a comment?
Gentlemen,
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Do you have anything?
Just one question.
Please.
Sharon Rivenbart, and I live at 7660 Oliver Park Drive.
Okay.
The building down from Ms. Winston.
Okay.
My question, will there be any security that rides around in there?
There's no security plan, no ma'am. There's none planned for the community. We do have plans that are gonna be offered, but it was not one of them. Now, what we will have is, there'll be security on our building, so there'll be an entry lobby that they'll walk into, and then they will have a key fob that will allow them, they can't proceed anywhere beyond the lobby to get into the building.
Okay.
That'll be the security that we're offering to them.
Yeah. And I'm also concerned concerned about, you know, the pickleball court and the maintenance building, the dog park, and the dumpsters. You know the smell of dumpsters, and that's gonna be right up against our backyard. And I would imagine you would have 2 dumpsters for a 4-story.
Now, I don't know where you're seeing the main, I want to start with that first, but the main, if you're looking at, you're just looking at one of the buildings that are labeled,
Maintenance garage.
yeah.
Maintenance garage, yes.
Yeah, so the reason that's like, those are future, they're not planned initially, those are also future builds. That was for, if we decided to, in the future, we would possibly build garages to rent out to the tenants.
Okay.
But, and I do see it got labeled like that, but that's what they were. And we may be, if we do build them, we have maintenance area within our building. If we do build it, we was to need one, then obviously would convert one, but there's not, the initial intent is not to build that right now. Unless it becomes a need, we would build it, but other than that, it won't be built right now. Won't be a part of the initial phase.
Could the 2 dumpsters, could they be moved to another location?
Well, I'll tell you the challenge we ran into. The challenge is keeping them close enough to the building.
Yeah, this is
And that was the challenge we fought. We looked at different locations on the site, but everything continued to get far away from it. And what I will tell you is they will be screened. I can make you that promise, that they'll be screened, and then we run a pretty tight ship as far as keeping things the way they're supposed to be, nice and neat and clean.
He lives here? He lives here?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Are you gonna visit?
I'm in Gibsonville.
It's okay,
Yes,
it's right around the
I'm
corner.
originally from Gibsonville.
Okay.
But no, we run a tight ship on all of our properties, I can assure you that.
Well, I will tell you this, that when I bought there 5 years ago, I live alone, and the representatives for Windsor, we were out and, we don't have much yard.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and my question to her was, what will happen with this land? And I was told, nothing will ever happen with it. And so, but that's not the only.
That's a Windsor issue.
Yeah, I would tell you that from day one, that's been a part of the development, I mean, being honest with you.
But anyway, I am glad that you're talking about 55 and above.
Yes.
That will be a little bit more respectful. They're not going to be running around pickleball at midnight.
And, I don't know how many of them use it, but we're thinking there may be some that won't use it, so we're planning to put it in.
Okay. I appreciate those time.
Thank you, ma'am. Do you have anything, sir, while we're on the subject? No, behind you, I'm sorry, I was talking to the gentleman behind you. Okay. You've talked enough, Kevin. City's recommendation is?
So I just wanted to summarize.
Yes, summarize, please.
A couple of the items that were discussed. The applicant has mentioned it being 55 and older. However, there's no commitment to that. I understand that that's their intent. It could be open to other age groups. However, it sounds like it's being designed specifically for that group. You also talked about downlighting and making sure that the lighting does not affect surrounding properties. They will, when they come back through the TRC process, they would also need to submit a lighting plan as well that will get reviewed by staff. There was also mention about the maintenance building as part of a future build out. Again, right now, we're not really looking at the individual buildings, but that will be noted just for the record. And then I think the last thing that you mentioned was screening of dumpsters.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I just wanted to
Thank
have
you.
all of
Thank you.
that stated in case you wanted to make any recommendations.
Gotcha. Discussion. Any questions, any comments, any concerns, any recommendations? None?
Mr. Chairman,
Because I was getting ready, okay, go ahead.
like to make a motion.
Well, before you make a motion, I'd like to make a recommendation. Downlighting. Will you accept that recommendation?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Also, I'm doing this dark skylight.
Whatever you call it. Keep it out of those two ladies' eyes. Go ahead, Lee, I'm sorry.
I move we recommend approval of the request to amend the existing conditional residential CR 747 zoning district for the Springwood at the Park development to increase the number of multifamily units from 48 to 52 and to increase the maximum building height to 4 stories and 50 feet. These changes apply to the Guilford County Tax Identification Numbers 103312 and 103313, also addressed as 1685 Springwood Village Drive. There are no changes proposed to the Park Place development located north of these properties. The motion is based upon the consistency of the proposed rezoning with the comprehensive plan in that the future land use map in section 4, land use of the comprehensive plan calls for this area to have suburban, residential, and neighborhood commercial. Multifamily development has already been approved for this area. The request is compatible with the existing land uses in the area. This action is reasonable and in the public interest in that the comprehensive plan calls for a mixture of residential use types. Any future development would require site plan approval by the Technical Review Committee.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Would the staff please roll call the vote?
Sure. Chair Kirkpatrick?
Approve.
Vice Chair Beasley?
Approve.
Member Roan?
Approve.
Member Mills?
Approve.
Member Strategini?
Approve.
And Member Rayner?
Approve.
We will let you know when this item will move forward.
Is there, thank y'all for your participation. Is there any new business, Jamie? Bree, anything new? Well then, I guess,
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
yeah. I don't think there's anybody gonna jack that up.